Welcome to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where titles are won, legends are made, and fields are named after them. Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. What a game and what potential drama we have in store. You've seen this script before. Top 10 team goes into a cauldron of emotion on the road and just hopes to be able to get out and tell about it. As we'll see the #1 team in the country, the Florida State Seminoles, taking on the winners of 4 straight, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Noles will kick it away to start us off. On the move from inside his 5. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Line gets set, first down. The give to the tailback. Great move there. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop. If you're going to play Bama tough, you're going to find out really early if you can handle the running game.
They're going to check your chin. I mean, they're going to come in and they're going to give you a steady diet of it. Even when they've had great quarterback play and spread the ball out, it's still a physical principle. They're going to make you stop the run. If you can't stop it, it can be a long game.
Alabama quickly back to the line. They go to the ground. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
Still on his feet at the 45. Make the stop at the 40, but he's got 15 yards on that one and a first down.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
Crosses the 40, gets it down to the 35 before he stopped, a gain of 6. 6-yard pickup on first down, leaves him with 2nd and 4. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
The give to the back. Steamrolls his way ahead. They wrestle him to the ground, but he's got plenty for a first down.
And they just kind of sneak that one in there as a defensive guy, 3rd and 5+. I'm thinking pass. They were thinking pass, Palmer, and they slipped the run in.
And it's so nice then to have this guy at running back too, right? Because you could throw it to him on 3rd down or hand it off. And he's got the vision and the athleticism to go pick up that first, keep the drive going.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Back to the ground with the running back. Relying on the run, he gets a couple before he's knocked down. Ball's at the 13.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. When those guys, those running backs come in, they just need a mitt. They put one mitt on a running back, and he usually falls to the ground just because of their sheer mass and strength.
He'll be stopped short, picks up 1, but they're facing 4th and 1. No huddle here for the offense. They'll try to pick up the first. Bring in the heat. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it 1st and goal at the 6. New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. They'll keep it on the ground for first and goal. And they make the tackle, but the official has tossed his flag. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Alabama comes to the line with a first and goal. Off the boot, looking for his man. Buys a little time. Using the quick game. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. I don't think he was the primary receiver on that play, David, but a very productive pickup on first down.
And these tight ends are so good at understanding zones and where to sit down. And listen, it's not the huge game down the field, but it's always death by 1,000 cuts, small gains, break tackles, and continue to move the sticks.
They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on second down, this little third to mid-range, you've got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Decision coming up here. I'm kicking a field goal, though, David. First drive of the game, you want to pay it off and just put some points up on the board.
Well, and see, I'd go for the touchdown because here's the thing. I'm going to make them go the length of the field, almost 100 yards, even if I get stopped. I'm starting this game aggressive.
Fourth and goal from the 3. Let's see what this offense can dial up from here. They'll try to power it in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown tie. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 7-0. They held the ball for 15 plays on that touchdown drive and closed the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. And the Seminoles racing to the line in the hurry-up. Nothing too surprising about seeing the Seminoles being productive in the passing game.
Man, we can think back, Reese, to so many great offenses for Florida State, whether it's Charlie Wood or Chris Winkie, whoever it is, the trigger man being really, really good is the start of a great Florida State team.
Pulls and fires it complete to the right. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. They might have the defense's head spinning a little bit now. Hit him with a big run, now they hit him with a big pass.
Man, it's so hard to defend both. You know that. Which coverage do I want to put? Do I want to put more people in the box to stop the run? When you've got this kind of balance on offense, the defense can't be right.
And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
This is no surprise to defenses anymore. Everybody throws wide receiver screens, and you could tell they were ready for it. They saw the quick game. They pounced on it, got the wide receiver on the ground. That's not the first time they've seen that one.
Gets it out quickly. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
This guy's done a lot of good things early this year throwing the football. With that last completion, that now takes him over 1,000 yards passing for the year.
On third and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. And they're able to get a third down stop here. See if they go for it on fourth. They really have no choice here. This is a no-brainer. You go for it here on this fourth down. The offense will have to use its first time out of the half. This is the absolute right call. They're going for it on fourth down. They'll try it on the ground. Will not get there. A fourth down stop.
Low man wins. Defense that time on fourth down was expecting run. You saw at the point of attack how they just dominated. There was nowhere for that guy to go. Defense wins the down. They give it back up now to their offense.
The Tide offense rolls onto the field. If you like old-fashioned, grind-it-up, run-over-'em football, that last touchdown drive was for you, Jesse.
That was impressive, man. Great blocking up front and tough physical running by these ball carriers.
And now you wonder how the defense responds. Like, are they going to get way more aggressive to try to stop the run? I got to do something to break the rhythm of that running game.
Here comes the offense on second down. They'll go to the ground. Tackled after picking up the first down.
Well, the defense is on their heels right now. They're going to have to find a way to stop this guy. When he's got a head of steam, boy, he is hard to bring down.
It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. Wide receiver now comes in motion. They'll leave it with him. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create second and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
And still a few inches short of the sticks as they come to the line for second down. Running back searching for a hole. Just ran him over. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down. Alabama rolling quickly downfield, set up with another first down. The receiver on the jet sweep. Keeps the legs moving. That one did not go well. Tackled in the backfield for a loss of 6.
And that is how you stop the jet sweep if you're on defense. You get penetration up front. Yeah, they're going to try to outflank you, but they can't do anything about it if you got dudes up front winning one-on-one.
They've been running it, but now the pass. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
This is a third and long. They'll give it to the back. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
There's just not a lot of great play calls, guys, for third in California. So you hand it off, you try to get some of that yardage back. Let's see what happens next.
This offense has been money on fourth down here in the first half. They'll try to make it 3 for 3. Try to get it on the ground. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on fourth down.
Hey, if you're going to go for it on fourth down and you decide to run the football, you've got to be sure up front that you're going to win in the trenches. They didn't get it done that time. They need to be more physical moving forward if they're going to try to do that again in the same type of situation in this game.
They'll throw it on first down. He'll pull it down. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Well, I'm sure there are a lot of emotions, a homecoming of sorts as he comes back to the place where he played as the head coach of the opposition.
You know it holds a special place in his heart, and he's right now taking the field thinking about all the great memories he shared with his teammates, with his family, with the fans during his time. But he's got a job, David. He's coaching on the other sideline this one, and he wants to get the win for his team.
Oh, you dang right. And you got to pull back those feelings. It's great to be home. It's awesome to be where it started, but you're also paid to do a job, and you're paid by the other side. And right now, you want to go win, and you want to beat this squad because you're competitive, so it's got to be kind of bittersweet.
They'll wrap him up, and he didn't find the same kind of running. previous play. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Second down coming up. The quick out. At the 40, there he goes. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down. The Seminoles come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll try the run. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all offseason, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
Out of the gun to give to the back. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
The give to the back. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Seminoles.
And I like the running back's vision. He sees the hole, explodes through it. He knows where the goal line is, gets in the end zone, gets 6.
The AT unit on the field. Bangs it through for an extra point. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Middle Tennessee is lighting up the scoreboard right now thanks to a dazzling offensive display. They're up by 17 over South Alabama. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Here comes that Alabama offense. To the ground with the back. Crosses the 30, he's got away. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Big play to start this drive. Now they'll snap it from the 39. Might as well give it to him again.
Well, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Pulls it on the bootleg fake. Using his legs to buy some time. Dumps it off in the flats. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Well, the defense was ready coming into this one for this running back being a factor in the pass game. That time, they were draped all over him. As soon as he caught the ball, he went down for a loss of yards.
The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. Coming after him. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Yeah, and on money down defensively, you got to find ways to affect the quarterback. Nice job by the defense, getting the pressure, getting to him, getting a hit on him, and forcing the incompletion, and now forcing the 4th down.
We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. This could be a real turning point in the game. They scored a touchdown. They got to stop. And now a chance to break the tie.
Yeah, this offense has got it cooking, man. And how about the defense? Great job getting that stop, getting the football right back to the hot hand. Now this offense, Palmer, has a chance to take the lead.
You can see the offense, too. They understand the situation right now. They were jonesing on the sidelines to get another opportunity to run back.
And he can't escape, and down he goes.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
First down sack, pushes it back. Now it's second down. On second down, they'll take to the air. Got it in the middle, it's Thomas. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. Always nice to have that security blanket of the tight end.
And it's nice to have a tight end that can line up in different areas of the field, too. It's not always going to be in a three-point stance. He can sometimes be in the backfield. You could flex him out into the slot. They might even try to put this guy out at wide receiver in the split end position and see what he can do there, because this guy is a weapon.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They'll go empty and 5 wide on second and 13. He's looking to throw. And they got him for the sack. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home, and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great...
Going over the top. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's fourth down. And the Seminoles decide to punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. I wouldn't quite call it a shank, but that's not exactly going to go on the resume reel. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Unleashes one. Complete downfield. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. He's looking to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. He's going to try to punch one through from 45 yards away. What a disappointment. No good. And here in the third quarter, it is still a tie ball game. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Just about set to put toe to leather as we are deadlocked here in the third. He'll start the return inside his 5. He's not going to make it to the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 17. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of... And he intercepts it. And he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Makes a move. This guy makes you hold your breath when he gets the football in his hands, and that last line of the coverage team, the only thing that stopped him from housing it. It's great to have confidence in your kicker, but this is the flip side. You give the offense great field position in plus territory. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. He'll try to do it himself. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit. They send 4 receivers onto the field, 2 to the right, 2 to the left on 2nd and 6. He's looking to throw. Quick strike complete. Knocked down at the 29-yard line. Picked up 15 yards on the play, and he's got a first down.
Oh, that is a rope for the completion in this offense. I'll tell you, think about great Seminole quarterbacks, the 3 W's. Wenke, Winston, Ward. Dudes that could change the game. Heisman Trophy winners. Every defensive coordinator was scared every time they had to play the Seminoles because of that vaunted passing attack. And this guy, I think he has D coordinators seeing ghosts because this guy can play at a high level.
Dances away again. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. They'll decline the penalty here, and the result of the play stands. And the defense is just about out of room to defend. They are backed up right on the doorstep. Slams ahead. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones. D linemen staying in their gaps. Linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Got his man on the right. Touchdown, Florida State. And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point was good. No incident there, and we are tied up in the 3rd. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. You want to talk about taking the wind out of your sails. Drive the ball down the field and miss the field goal, David.
You know what? Don't leave it up to kickers. Execute better offensively. I think you move the ball nice. You got to keep that in mind. But, Palmer, I think you got to stay aggressive and don't settle for field goals.
Yeah, because you got to know there's just no margin for error right now. You just have got to be able to execute at a high level.
Running toward the tape. The 30. You're not getting him on the ground. Still on his feet. That is just a gargantuan play as he has it all the way down to the 12.
You want to know why this offense runs the football a lot? Because you got a guy that's top 5 in college football in rushing. You give him the football, and he'll continue to make plays. I imagine they're going to keep feeding him because he keeps putting up productive numbers.
They just changed the dynamic of this possession in a heartbeat, and now it's 1st and 10 from inside the red zone. Pickup of 1. It's down at the 11. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Give to the running back. Smashes ahead. He now has 84 yards rushing, and that should be no surprise. He's been among the nation's elite all season. Leaves it with the running back. Touchdown, Bama! And that one will give him the lead.
I love running backs that have a nose for the goal line. Understand how to get there, finish strong into the end zone, know I get 6, and then go celebrate with your boys.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. And, David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
On second down, wants to throw it. He finds his man. He's got it out to the 37 after gaining 5. They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Quick completion to the right. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical. They're too fast, and they force the negative play.
They keep attacking through the air. And the defense gets to the quarterback.
Man, that's an impressive play. This dude is so dominant. And I'll tell you, we don't have enough time in this broadcast to list off all the great Alabama D linemen, especially in recent years. That play right there, that reminds me of a guy I played against back in the day, Cornelius Griffin, playing on the inside of Alabama's defense.
He's looking deep. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Noles will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Going to make sure he doesn't get a return on this one as the punt bounces out of bounds. Here comes that Alabama offense. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply we are more physical than you, and we're pounding the football right at you.
So if you're on offense this next drive, take a look at their safeties and see if they're creeping up into the box. Because of your success running the football, this might be time to take a shot down the field and play action.
Leaves it with the back. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
When you're a defense, it is stop the run first. That is your first responsibility. It makes the whole game easy. And right now, they got it going on the ground. The defense is going to have to change something up. These little tiny dink and dunk, dink and dunk. You keep doing this, they'll go all the way down the field on you, so you might want to get a little bit more aggressive.
Got a man. It's Moreno. And he was knocked down immediately short of the line to gain. They'll have to make a decision here. Looks as if the Tide will punt it away. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, and it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter out there. This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. He'll keep it himself. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
They're trying to go option, and they're trying to put that defensive end in a bind, but he's just way too athletic, and he guessed right. The quarterback was keeping the ball. He knew it and was able to make the tackle in the backfield.
Looking to move the chains. They throw it complete to the left. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks. The Seminoles want to crank the tempo.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. He's looking to throw. Got his man quickly.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
They'll try to bully their way for the first. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Big moment here for the defense. Can you come up with one more stop? You've got the lead. It's 4th and short. You're kind of in no man's land, so you're expecting them to go for it. If you can get off the field right here, you can win this game.
Trailing by a possession, they need to keep the ball. They'll try to convert on 4th down. He'll take it himself. And a really nice run and pick up there before the defense avoided disaster and stopped the really big play. No problem for the offense there. They just took care of business.
And you practice these situations nowadays. You know you're going to go for it on 4th most of the time. 4th and 1, you feel very confident. You're ready to rock and roll, and they get the first down.
Motion from the offense. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So,
oh, no, the ball popped out. The defense all over that loose ball, and now they're bringing.
And how about the defense coming through in the clutch? You're up. You want to maintain that lead. You've given up a bunch of yardage. What do? You bow your neck, create the turnover, get the ball back to the offense. Offense, go do your job. We're going to win this football game.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Tackle is made, but not until he gets the first down.
You don't always have to run the sexy plays, right? It doesn't have to always be up-tempo and fast and spread and doing all this stuff. Sometimes you just lower your shoulder. Sometimes you just run powerfully. You get the first down, and that's all that matters.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Five wide receivers on 2nd and goal. That's room for the quarterback to run and a lot of receivers for the defense to contend with. He's looking to throw. Keeping his eyes downfield, rolling left. And the ball is intercepted. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
Just such a nice job by him, understanding his responsibility in that cover 2 zone scheme. He's just floating over the middle of the field. He's just very aware of tight ends and running backs around him. And as soon as he sees color, as soon as he sees an intended target, he's already running that way. He's able to jump the throw and pick it up.
After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if they're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
Power football with the run. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Really nice job by the defense getting that last stop. All 3rd downs in games are important, but this one just feels like it's the biggest down of this game right now for this defense. If they can get off the field, they've got to give it back to their offense with as much time as possible to have a chance to win this game.
And he picks up the first down, and he does it. I'm not going to say spin move. That was a pirouette. It was elegant. It was beautiful. The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. Getting that push, a pickup of 4 out to the 26.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Here's the handoff. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
All right, so I know the defense is going to be aggressive, right? They got their stop. They forced a third down. How aggressive does the offense want to be in response? Because if I throw the football, get a first down, I can run this clock almost out. This defense has to make a choice, but this offense, how aggressive do you want to be?
And what a big conversion by the offense there. With the lead late, you're just trying to stay on the field and bleed the clock. At this point, it's tick, 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 tick. Let's run this clock down as low as we can before we snap.
Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
Well, this offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the first down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. They've been very good at moving the chains on third down. 2 for 2 on this drive. This time they need 6. The give to the tailback. They've got it inside the 40 at the 39 as they pick up the first down.
And obviously, this is one of the best offenses in the country, and it's because they get first downs. Top 10 in the nation picking up first downs. How nice is it to know you can turn around, hand it off to that guy right there, and let him go to work?
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They go to the ground. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. The give to the back. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there.
The big defensive tackles in the middle, they're not always the best pass rushers, but they are strong, and I say country strong. They put their hands on you, you feel it. They lock people out on the line of scrimmage. They create separation. They wrap running backs up, and usually they don't get out of the midst of those big boys.
A third down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. They'll try to run for it. Didn't get much, picked up a yard, and that will leave them with 4th and 2.
Well, after the tackle now, that sets up 4th and 2. And these offenses, they practice for these types of situations. It's not like they just have quarterbacks sneak in their back pocket for 4th and inches. They've got plays designed to go and get this, David, so it'll be interesting to see if this offense wants to roll the dice.
Yeah, and most of the time, I'm rolling the dice. I'm going to be aggressive. And as a defense, you also know that too. And you're ready. You're not caught off guard by offenses nowadays going forward on 4th down.
Trying to show their strength with the run on 4th down. What a nifty run there to pick up the first down.
How about that? You got the lead late in the game. Get some first downs. Salt this clock away. This is the exact position you want your offense in.
Imposing their will, right, David? I mean, we know we're running it. You know we're going to run it. We're trying to ice this game. There's nothing you can do to stop us.
It's one thing to execute early in the game. Tight ball game, right at the end. You need the clutch plays. These guys deliver.
And you can't teach that gene. You have people that can focus in the moment or they can't. Great job by the team, staying focused, understanding it's a close battle, win those one play at a time, and then look up, and then, heck, I got the win.
Yeah, David, they just had ice in their veins, and you can tell there's tremendous leadership on this football team. Guys can step up, and in the huddle, they can make sure that everybody else is focused to the task at hand in order to get the W.
That